A former top government watchdog calling out cuts to the federal agency that safeguards your medicine. This follows our extensive reporting on the Department of Government Efficiency's, or DOGE's, planned cut of a major FDA lab in the Central West End. And while the department says terminating this lease could save taxpayers millions, concerns over the impacts of this cut continue to rise. New at 5, our Cameron Bopp has new developments around the St. Louis angle of this story. Cameron.
Yeah, Lauren, this FDA facility puts the drugs many take through rigorous testing, making sure the pharmaceuticals are safe. Now, tonight, a sharp focus takes shape over what the future may hold for your safety if these cuts become permanent.
The lab in St. Louis in particular is really FDA's flagship pharmaceutical lab.
Howard Sklamberg is a former Food and Drug Administration Deputy Commissioner overseeing the agency's inspections, enforcement, and recalls programs.
And the functions of this lab in particular are an important part of FDA's program to keep the drug supply safe and effective.
He says the 50,000 square foot lab space on South Newstead in the Central West End is crucial to safeguarding your medicine.
And sometimes those tests will reveal a drug that has a safety problem that might lead to a recall or other kind of action FDA has to take to make sure that the public is safe.
The lab's work led to the recall of Zantac, FDA chemists finding it had a cancer-causing chemical compound. We talked with 3 of the more than 60 employees at this lab Tuesday, all wishing to remain anonymous. They said their work shows there's no savings to be made, rather a loss, not in dollars, but lives.
I felt betrayed, both for myself and for the American people.
Sklamberg says the cuts could have long-term consequences for the safety of the drugs the agency regulates, so it's not clear to him how the facility landed on DOGE's chopping block.
It's very hard for me to imagine that a small number of people without a background in public health and without knowledge of how FDA operates can make that kind of decision.
It's a move Congressman Wesley Bell says he had no idea was happening.
I don't know what the administration's plan is because they're doing these things haphazardly. They're not giving guidance.
He says his Republican counterparts are asleep at the wheel amid DOGE's cuts.
Let's just be as honest and straightforward as we can. This is the work of Republicans. They're in the majority. They have the presidency. They have the House. They have the Senate and the Congress, which is supposed to be a check on the presidency. House Republicans are just going along with it.
Sklamberg says more elected leaders need to get involved.
Drugs tested in the St. Louis lab are consumed in Washington State, Maine, Florida, California, Puerto Rico, and everywhere in between.
All right, Cameron, we saw that you heard from Congressman Wesley Bell. What about other elected leaders in Congress? Are they weighing in on this?
Yeah, so Bell is just one of a few elected officials to get back to us with a response. Definitely, of course, critical of DOGE's actions like you heard. And right now he says the big effort is getting the majority in the House back in 2026. And he wants the, quote, chaos to end. In just the last hour, take a look. Illinois Senator Dick Durbin got back to me saying, in part, quote, classic Donald Trump and Elon Musk creating chaos and disorganization around their haphazard initiative to, quote, sell federal buildings, to now backtracking on that plan. Further proves there is no rhyme to their reason. Durbin went on to say threatening to sell the buildings where federal workers are doing their job for the American people is careless and unproductive. Senator Eric Schmidt's team said they'd look into it. Senator Josh Hawley's team refused to give us a response yesterday or today, instead saying we can just talk tomorrow. Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth also did not get back to us. As for congressmen, there's been no response from Missouri's Ann Wagner and Bob Onder or Jason Smith, though Wagner's team did ask us for our deadline. Representatives from the Metro East, Mike Bost, Nikki Budzinski, and Mary Miller did not get back. We can also tell you both DOGE and the FDA have yet to tell us or the lab's employees what's next for their jobs and all the work they're doing. But of course, our extensive reporting continues. We'll keep you posted as we learn more about what exactly happens. A lot of concerns for those workers who spoke anonymously to us.
We'll know you'll continue to follow it, Cam. Thanks.